Hello, welcome to Factutainment. As always, I am Zero Yeti. Our other co-host and main draw of the channel, or Master 101, is unfortunately not going to be joining us for today's segment or any segments of this new series that we are starting called Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. Uh, Basically, this is going to be a bit of a new format for this channel. What we're going to be doing is every week uh, every week we're going to be rounding up a bunch of facts about various wildlife, like current or living or extinct animals, and sometimes just general facts about the planet Earth as a whole. Usually one group for each day, like so one species each day, like maybe a seal on Tuesday or a dinosaur on Wednesday, and then at the end of the week, usually on either Sunday, Monday, possibly Tuesday, I'm going to put them all in a video and release them for you. So you'll get 7 days worth of animal facts to binge all at once. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start. The first animal of this week was the Amazonian manatee, which is a species of manatee that lives in the Amazon River basin in Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. It has thin, wrinkled, brownish to grayish colored skin with fine hair scattered all over its body and a white chest patch. That is its main identification. Uh, is one of the main things that you can use to identify it from other manatee species. At around 7.5 feet and 60 pounds, it is the smallest of the 3 living species of manatee. Up next was the burrowing owl, it is a small, long-legged owl found throughout the open landscapes of North and South America, from southern Canada all the way to northern Argentina. Burrowing owls can be found in grasslands, rangelands, agriculture areas, deserts, and any other open, dry areas with low vegetation. They nest and roost in burrows, such as those excavated by ground squirrels and prairie dogs. And they are also frequented by animals such as badgers or snakes, and especially and particularly rattlesnakes. This has led to a behavior that, when threatened, the owl will retreat into their burrows and produce a rattling sound with a frequent hissing, similar to that would be made by a rattlesnake defending its home. Next up is the Tasmanian Devil, which is a carnivorous marsupial of the family Dasyuroideae. It was once native to mainland Australia, but is now found in the wild only in the island city of Tasmania. But it has been reintroduced in small wildlife parks in New South Wales. Reaching around 30 inches in length and weighing upwards of 26 pounds, it became the largest carnivorous marsupial on Earth after the unfortunate extinction of the thylacine or Tasmanian tiger, when the last one went extinct in 1936, I believe. Despite its rotund appearance, the Tasmanian Devil is quite surprisingly capable of speed and endurance. It can climb trees and swim across rivers. It is largely crepuscular and is a frequent scavenger, but with one of the strongest bite force of any extant predatory land mammal, it is more than capable of hunting for itself. Next up is the pygmy hippopotamus. It is a small hippopotamid, which is just a fun word to say, it is native to the forests and swamps of West Africa, primarily Liberia, with small populations in Sierra Leone and Guinea and the Ivory Coast, where they spend the majority of their nights lounging in rivers and feeding upon ferns and fruits that have fallen from the canopy down to the forest floor. It is only one of only 2 extant species of hippopotamus, the other being its much larger relative, the common hippopotamus. While the common hippopotamus is gregarious, meaning that it lives in large herds, the pygmy hippos live either alone or in very small groups, typically of a mated pair and their calves. Pygmy hippos tend to ignore each other rather than fight when they meet, unlike the common hippopotamus, which are notorious for their males competing with each other. Next up is the oxalotal, or Ambostoma mexicanum. also known as the Mexican walking fish. It is a neonatic salamander related to the tiger salamander of North America. Although it is colloquially known as the walking fish, it's not a fish, but in fact an amphibian, like the tiger salamander. As of 2010, wild axolotls are near extinction due to the urbanization in Mexico City and the consequent water pollution, as well as the introduction of invasive species such as tilapia and perch, which frequently prey upon small, young axolotls. Uh, there is hope, though, that since the axolotls are used extensively in scientific research, they are bred in captivity. They are used extensively in this research, especially in the medical fields, due to their ability to regenerate limbs, tails, eyes, jaws, basically anything, as long as its brain remains intact. The oxalotal is a popular exotic pet and does fairly well in captivity under proper care. Next up is the bumblebee. The bumblebees are large, fuzzy insects with short, stubby wings, as you may know from the age-old saying that, according to all known laws of aviation, there's no feasible way that a bee should fly. This has been proven incorrect, as it's actually been shown that bees fly by waving their wings in a figure eight, which produces double the lift as a regular wing bee would, and allows them to, well, fly. They are significantly larger than honeybees and more resilient, but they don't produce nearly as much honey. However, they are very important pollinators, particularly in areas too cold for traditional honeybees. They are native to every continent on Earth apart from Australia, where they have been introduced in areas such as New South Wales and Tasmania, and Antarctica. Unlike honeybees, bumblebees don't die when they sting and are covered in oil that makes them water resistant, allowing them to fly and work while it's raining. Last up is an extinct species, the Upland Moa, or Megalopteryx didinus, was a species of moa endemic to the islands of New Zealand. It was a member of the ratite family, a type of usually large flightless birds with no keel on their sternum. Other ratite members include things like the cassowary, the emu, and the kiwi. It was the last moa species to become extinct in New Zealand, only doing so after the arrival of European settlers. It managed to hold out as long due to its predominantly being found in alpine and subalpine environments, being upwards in the mountains. Unlike other moas, it had feathers covering all of its body but the beak and the soles of its feet. This is an adaptation to its cold, snowy environment. It's comparable to the size of a modern emu, but seemed to be much more herbivorous, occupying a niche similar to that of rays. Thank you, and as always, take care to the guys, gals, non-binary pals.